We'll do it live, and we'll do it now. A special early UK edition. Yes, wow, we are going early today, especially for the UK crowd. I like to mix it up every now and then, be unpredictable. Usually go 4 Central my time, but we're at three today. Hopefully to get some of the UK crowd talking some Jack Kirby today. So if they come in or not at all, at least I've afforded them the opportunity to do so. I know not everybody can do 4 o'clock, especially in the UK, because it's like, well, it's like a living hell. It's 10 p.m. over there. Thank you, Past Master Dan, for liking us over there on Twitter. I did send Past Master Dan the link. Collector extraordinaire, great chatter, Smith. I made that up and it's just copyrighted that way. The way no one touched that, no one touch it. Go ahead and touch it. It's okay. It won't hurt a thing. Probably my greatest Jack Kirby cover. Carrie, are you in here yet? Because you were one of the couple people that were having trouble backing Devil Flyer over on Fund My Comic. We are active and live over there, as you probably well know. 87% there. It's been a stall out day on the third day. What the hell? I get it. You know. But Devil Fire's turning red in the face, waiting on at least one backer today. If you can't laugh about it, you might as well destroy all your enemies and lavish, not ravish, lavish in the lamenting of their women, as Conan would say. Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Well, the movie version. Anyway, I have my coffee and with just a hint of lime juice, watered down. We don't want to get it too tart. I know that's weird. Vitamin C and caffeine at the same time. Try it before you buy it, and you probably wouldn't like it anyway. But and the UK crowd is tea drinkers anyway, right? They have may I have a croissant and some tea. They have well, I don't know that's the French, with the croissant thing, but croissants are so good. Come on now, with real butter or something on. Oh, that light flakiness. Oh, I'm, whew, a good croissant, man. I'll take 2 croissants and put something in the middle and make a big mega sandwich. The bread's not good for you. I realize, but it tastes, you know. But, a croissant is probably a food that I would love in my top 20 for sure of foods, but it would probably be one of those that I forget. Bread, staple, any kind of bread, but I mean, uh, man, you know, but it's not good for you. But if I had to pick I often say the first appearance of Ant-Man in his costume because I like that exaggerated. But I've got to say, I've got a real love fest for Fantastic Four #1. Uh, First official, I'm told, uh, first official Marvel comic. Under the Marvel Comics name, I guess. Um, Absolutely, positively, we'll have one of those one of these days. If I, if if all goes well. My friend Elsie, it's a trash truck. Abby barking at something clanking down the road. And not only is it 30 years after we lost Jack Kirby, today would have been Rich Buckler, and I got to meet Rich Buckler back in 1983 at the first. Let me think. Yeah, I think it was the first comic book convention I went to. Met Joe Staten, met Bob McLeod a little bit after that at another convention. They came on different days. We drove over there twice. It was kind of on the south side of town, sort of the older part of Memphis, although Memphis is all old, you know. Um, I have sent out the link to an all-star cast, some greats. Who knows if they'll make the show? We are going early today to accommodate some people, and that doesn't mean that you'll get slided in the least on the length of the episode. This is episode 649. Can you believe that? Tomorrow, 650, 650 episodes of this thing. And in that time, we met some great people, and that's what really matters. Um, and met some old friends. I first met Mike Barron when he was although I'm sure he doesn't remember me. I was just 19 or 20, young man at that time. Um, Met him back in 1985 and 6. He and Steve Rude and Mike Zack and Julius Schwartz and Stan Lee and never met Jack Kirby though, like Glenn Fleming has. But I know Glenn Fleming, and I am working with Glenn Fleming, and Glenn Fleming will be designing the back part of wonderful artist that lives in the UK. Will be designing the back of the artist edition on Devil Flyer. And why don't I just good segue to bring up the campaign. I'm a little reticent to do that. I am proud of what we've done thus far, for sure, uh, and what we've offered, and we'll be adding to the campaign as it goes along. I hope people are truly excited about it. I know I am. Uh, Wonderful John Dillard artwork, and I can't wait to see Jimmy Reyes's artwork. Uh, Hope somebody takes me up on the $600 tier. I think for what they're getting, that's a deal. And then as we get all the stretch goes in, of course they'll get all that too. They might even get something special for me. I'm sure they will. They'll be getting some of my artwork in that file. Some of the thumbnails. You can see the process of how John kind of did some of the things, some of the alternative things that came up. I'll get the file out later, not today, but I'll get the file out later to sort of show you some of what's in there. I kind of like wanted to be surprised. We did sell a $300 bundle, and that's why we're as high up on the second day as we are. But everybody's loving this John Diller cover. This spoilers. This was going to be the cover to issue number 1 of Devil Flyer, and I said, I've got to get something out, and wanted to launch it in October, and just scheduled with Shay, and the way it's worked out, it was absolutely worth it, worth the wait. I mean, a lot of this project has come about because I did wait, and I did develop, and I did get, and generosity of others like John. Just well, if you had a Devil Flyer cover, what is, and then I paid him out for this. Usually he doesn't work that way. I have commissioned John to do another piece for me, and I will be commissioning him. And thanks to your contributions to this, that's made that possible. And John's been going through a lot of, his house flooded. He needs some financial relief, and I'm happy to offer it. And Doc Blaylock as well, and I as well, but we've got some great things up here on the campaign. Look at that wonderful piece done by John there. The higher this goes, probably the more John Dillard artwork there'll be in the issue, because we are still working on this story right here with the bystander, which is kind of my watcher, cosmic character in the book. But just some lovely stuff here, and as we go by, we'll reveal some more artwork to this. You will absolutely laugh, hopefully, at some of the gags or whatever, because John Falandes, who did the Devil Flyer story, absolutely put in some gags there. Like Blue Sasquatch says, I like sharks. Well, there's actually sharks in the book. There are sharks in the book. No one's going to come in. I stream early, and no one's going to come in early. Really? Really? Okay. Well, Dark came in, and we are glad that Dark's, hopefully he subscribed to the channel. Actually, on that front, folks, on that front, we're doing pretty well. Of course, we've been on a tear for a while, but up to 374 subscribers. Wow. If you've been missing some of our, I don't make a big deal. Like Dan Lawless came on the other day, and some other people, Glenn Fleming. I don't make a big deal about that. Most people would love to get Dan on and put it in their title and exploit it. I'm not into it for that. I'm into people feeling comfortable and wanting to come back, and just dropping in when they, and just like Dan, hey Rex, can I drop in for a bit and talk? Wow, new achievement 2 days ago, 75,000 views on the channel. 75,000 views. Says it looks like your videos are getting more attention. That's good. You know what the average duration on my earlier stream, It Ain't Pretty, But It's Me? Do you know what the average view time was on that? A little over 30 minutes. Now that's awesome. When you think about the millions of channels out there, had 67 views so far on it, had a high of 17 at one time. I guess I'm a coffee person myself, but I'm Scottish. Well, and the lovely Margot, maybe she was in here earlier today. She's Scottish. And Texas Dave, which will absolutely, who's over in the UK, he was born in Scotland. I wouldn't call him Scottish, I'd call him British, but he was born in Scotland. And I think I might have some Scottish, Irish. I'm not sure till the DNA test. Actually, English, uh, Netherlands, maybe. I don't know. I'm just finding out about my real biological family, starting with last year, meeting my sister. In fact, why don't I call John Philandez? I need to call my sister, but I'll hold off on that. And call John Philandez, who did the artwork, and give him an update. He'll be blown away and see, people say, is John a real person? Is John a real person? I don't know if I can get through to him or not. No. No, right now I'm having some problems. Might need to update my phone. As far as, because I loaded up monthly, so it may have put her that on me finally. So I'm cut off from the world. What will I do? Go load it up again. But yeah, that's massive. And only a couple shots. Let's see. Sign up. Greatest American Hero. Yeah, I played that the other day. Hellrex. Sorry I missed you today. That's Shadowhawk, my co-host. Excellent, Doc. I'm glad you're on your way to stay on this earth longer and produce great art, great stream. Yeah, giving up the cigarettes. It'll be different seeing Doc without a cigarette, but it ain't easy to quit, folks. But we're still up 21 subscribers in the last 28 days, 374. Couldn't do it without you. I'm glad that that the people that we've met along the way, like Salacious Rum, has introduced us to a greater UK crowd. I do appreciate the UK crowd. Love your accents. Love Pinewood Studios and what's all came out of it, and love Doctor Who. Love. I hope to visit your great country someday. And that's saying a lot for me because I've never went outside the borders. But on the subject of Jack Kirby, and I don't want to forget Rich Buckler, because he absolutely made an impact on me. He was one of the first comic creators that I knew something about and knew how loved his stuff. And he was doing he was announcing the Red Circle stuff with some old characters that Kirby worked with, like the Flyman. I actually, in my collection, have a Flyman #1. And the way I got that's actually Roger Stern's old copy. I have an extensive Roger Stern collection, a lot of comics that were comped to him in the 80s, maybe some late 70s, early, probably 80s. But now I have some of his older stuff, some of his older stuff that was from his collection from the 50s. Another Sergeant, I really should get that box out and show it. I've never shown it. The stuff that I got on the Roger Stern collection. Actually, I think, and if I had somebody in it here to tell me if they can see it, I have, Rex. You have what, Dark? Sorry, I missed that comment when you put it up and what context it's in. Actually, I probably could find. Now, I have to go to a file here. I have to find the file. But because I have access, I photographed most of my collection. Exactly what box it is and 250 We may just have to plan that for another day. Although I would love to find that Roger Stern box. And actually, it flows over into two short boxes. Uh, I'm looking at the first drawing of Devil Flyer before it was even finished. Or yeah, that's it there. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. All right. As it was being drawn, and then and I don't know if that's up on Instagram or what. Uh, it's been finished. I actually gave him a little cape, uh, a little sort of robin tail cape underneath the wings. John just didn't want to draw it, so that went by the wayside. But I'll look for that Roger Stern collected box file, and I could probably hunt it down and find what's. But now he had the Private Life of Sergeant Strong. Uh, copy of that. He had the Fly #1. He had an old Iron Man. But now those first two I mentioned are Jack Kirby books from the 50s. It seems like there was one more from the 50s. There were three or four old ones, and I got all of them. The only one was an early Iron Man, and I did get one of the two Iron Man that were offered. I just got outbid on the one. I would have liked to have had it too. I think I got the cream of the crop. I got over half of what was offered that was put up on eBay. Maybe through a friend of Roger Stern himself. They each come with a certificate of authenticity signed by Roger Stern. Great stuff. See, this is what happens when you go early. You get 6 people in here and they all lurk. They don't even say hi. Nobody loves me anymore. Nobody. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Okay. Uh, Here's a book by Jack Kirby and Wally Wood, another great guy that was in the field. And you can absolutely, that clean style of Wally Wood's inking over Jack Kirby. He asserted himself. Sky Masters of the Space Force. That's the complete Sunday strips in color from 1959 through 1960. Didn't last that long, but it was awesome. I need this book in my life. I do not have that book in my life. What else we got? Yeah, a little Fantastic Four here. But Bavoot, great creator and himself. I think this is it's sometimes it's hard to tell Jack Kirby from Rich Buckler. Rich Buckler was one of those that was told to draw like this is Rich Buckler and Joe Sennett inside. The cover, Buckler and Sennett, yeah. Didn't quite look like Kirby stuff to me. Fantastic, but absolutely a lot of Rich Buckler stuff is after Kirby. Look at the power, and I mean, oh, that's just straight. I mean, there was a similar scene at like that top panel there of Iron Man and Submariner going at it. Very Kirby-esque. Even the musculature and stuff. I think he's still trying to put that Kirby-ness into it because he was a fan. I'm sorry, really, that I didn't talk to him about uh, being knowing Jack Kirby and about Jack Kirby. I talked about him and what he was doing, It would have been interesting. But I really at that time I probably didn't have that much of an inkling or care who Jack Kirby was. Jack Kirby was still alive at that point. He'd still be alive for over a decade at that point. Uh, here's an iconic cover, and I really don't think of this being his cover, but it absolutely is. One of the few times he kind of got to draw Spider-Man instead of Steve Ditko. Um, love the Fantastic Four heads. I actually had a production piece that was done in Brazil for Daredevil #1 cover without the logo, slightly rearranged. You actually got to see a little bit more of the artwork, very little bit. Uh, but there's so many. I mean, he did. Look at that gif there of great Fantastic Four. Uh, the thing breathing there, heaving. Hey, Rex, is your campaign definitely set to send to international backers? This might be the problem. Okay. All right. That's right. Tree, you were the other one. Okay. So I wanted to address this, but I wanted Carrie in here, and you're in here. Hopefully, Carrie's lurking. I don't know. Usually she comes in and says hi. I did ask Justin, and I did ask Luke Stone. Luke Stone got back with me too. Hopefully, a lot of people are working. Um, if everybody showed up, I couldn't get them in here, you know, uh, and some legends, So we'll see if anyone shows up. It's a crapshoot today, folks. But Luke Stone said they need email support for their city and region, as it would appear on the postal stamp, so we can have them added to the database. So email support with their city and region, Luke Stone says. Um, Justin said about it because I contacted, and he was the one that put the campaign up. I asked him about it, and he says, I'm guessing we have to be specific to each country worldwide. Does not seem to cover it like it should. I just added UK with shipping price to each. So try, and his advice was to try it again. Now, that was Luke's guess because my city is in the system. Yeah. We will absolutely get it worked out. Sorry, Tree. Uh, yo, Justin. Uh, Justin, if you want to come in here, you're absolutely invited. Let me send you the link. You may be busy, but put the link in the chat. Okay, I can do that. For campaign, absolutely. I assume that's what you're asking for, Tree. Yeah, we need to get this thing going. We're so close to getting it funded. All right, so Justin Belmont. Don't want to put out the link in the chat just quite yet. Because, like I say, we may have a whole host of people already that will be coming in. They just haven't gotten here yet. They're busy. A lot of people working. But I would say Fantastic Four #1 is probably my coveted book that I want the most from Jack Kirby. Another one is from 1962, Journey into Mystery '83. It's just such a dope cover. Look at that, throwing that hammer around. Rock, invaders from Saturn, rock creatures. Come on, man. low print Marvel stuff. Justin, I did send you the link if you have time. If not, that's fine. On Twitter. Uh, I'll keep updating the campaign to see if there's any change. Please let me know if you were able to fix the problem. Uh, can you imagine going to and buying a comic for 10 or 12 cents? 10 or 12 cents. This was done by here, but so iconic. I mean, I get just thrills running up and down my leg just thinking about an old Ditko image like this. Reminds me of the 67 Spider-Man cartoon. And I look at those and they're very psychedelic in the coloring, pretty wild. One of the wildest cartoons out there, to tell you the truth. Gray Morrow did what kind of Jack Kirby did in animation, and what Alex Toth did in animation, and absolutely charted the 67 Spider-Man that ran, I think, up to 71. But just a good Spidey vibe on that. To me, that's Spidey, where he's uh, just so limber looking. From 19, what was that? Let me check this. Avengers 155. George Perez and Pablo Marcos on the inside, but on the outside was Jack Kirby and Al Milgrom. Look at that. Dr. Doom clutching some kind of device. I don't care what it is. It just looks cool. I mean, I love that old. I love they had a whole story. Wonder Man had just come back. He's still wearing the same outfit he wore back in the 60s. That green and red. If it was up to me, he would just stay in that green and red. I like it. If somebody said, Rex, would you draw me a Wonder Man? I'd say, sure, I would draw him in this costume, although it's probably not the greatest costume in the world. It brings back good memories. Look at that jagged line. I don't know if you can see it on his left leg there. That inspired another character of mine, Geo, just that line. The Wizard from the Golden Age Timely Comics, didn't know it at the time. Loved his Golden Age costume. I mean, if you can speed around in blue underwear with a W on your chest, wings on your head, and blue shoes with a yellow outfit. And look at that. Jack Kirby puts the Beast, not afraid to take on Submariner, one of the, Supermen of the Marvel comics. The Beast. And then you get the Vision phasing through the cover up there in the Ditko box. I mean, just a great, oh man, these are, I always hated it. I wanted George Perez to do the covers, but looking back on it now, I'm totally grateful that. Sorry, Dan, I didn't know you were back there.
I just popped in.
Okay, well, good. I
I'm
didn't.
big. I don't
Whoa,
like big.
hey, no, no.
I don't want to see myself that big. Ugh.
Uh,
It's scary.
yeah, I started a little early, and we're talking a little Jack Kirby today, my friend.
I know. I heard about it. Yeah, you said that yesterday, Jack Kirby. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
and it
kind of.
would have
It's
been
funny.
rich.
You're seeing me 2 days in a row. It's because I'm just about done with my. I just finished up this retro Marino story, and I don't really have much on the plate besides this Eric Weathers pinup. Got to do, and I think
Oh,
as I said, mentioned there's a someone I neglected to do a what do you call it, the commission. Yeah, I thought I'd get it out. You gotta pull these words
yeah,
out of me sometimes, huh?
yeah. It's a good time to hit you up for a cover then. Anyway, uh, get you on the plate while the funds are there. Um, uh,
So I had just got in. I didn't see you. Have you been bringing up Jack Kirby a lot or
yeah, I've
so
been
far?
bringing up some Jack Kirby stuff. Let me see that cap, if you don't mind. What's that cap? All
Well, it's
caps?
backwards.
Oh, wow.
It's
Yeah,
backwards. That's all caps, but it's just I'd have to
yeah.
turn my
He
camera on.
puts
But
out some good merch. I'm not wearing it today. I'm wearing a Kirby shirt, classic
yeah,
Kirby cover of Captain America. Uh, it must have been for you. I don't think you ever met Kirby, right?
no,
But I met Rich Buckler. Rich Buckler, it would have been his 75th birthday today. I met him back in
yeah,
1983. He was one of those that was told before you started comics in the Bronze Age. He was told to draw like Jack Kirby. A lot of creators were back then, weren't they?
sure, sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what happened with Buscema. Buscema took that Jack Kirby dynamics and added his realistic interpretations. Like the two of them, that's what often happens with an artist. You put the two together. You got you're dragging from one artist and dragging from another artist, and you kind of put it together. You get something new. Like Neil Adams was, in advertising. You can see the advertising influences on his work. The faces look like the advertising guys at the time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Kirby did it all. He did animation. He did some work for Mattel in the mid '70s.
Yeah.
I have Lone Ranger, sort of like a little compact thing up there. Uh, I've shown before. It has a Jack Kirby Lone Ranger artwork on the header on the packaging, which are most, and it's unopened. You know, most of that stuff was just not even thought of, and maybe even recognized as Jack Kirby and threw it away.
Yeah.
But and that wasn't the only thing he did for Mattel. But he worked in animation. He started out as like a filler on Popeye in the '30s, doing some of the in between shots on the animation. He did Scooby Doo in the '70s, Scrappy Doo type stuff. He did Thundar the Barbarian.
Yeah,
Did
because
fan.
he didn't really hit it big until he was a little older, right?
Yeah, he was like in his late 30s, I think, before they ever started the Marvel universe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he was
So
almost 40 at
that's why
that
he
point.
was so ready to go because he was well trained. He had lot of experience. So he was a professional, and that's what they needed, guys who
It's
just
a wonder, like Joe Kubert, that he didn't do more war comics because he was in World War II. Uh, but then I guess away, creating Captain America in 1940, which was not the first patriotic hero, the Shield, that kind of goes to the Shield, which kind of Rich Buckler, ironically, resurrected, when Red Circle Comics came around in the
yeah.
80s.
Hey, speaking of
And
Rich,
they and that dealt
go
with
ahead.
the private life of Private Strong that was done by Kirby in the '50s. And I was mentioning that I have some of Roger Stern's. Did you know Roger Stern, the writer?
No, no,
Okay.
no.
Um, did you ever meet Rich Buckler? Get a chance to
No, but I
meet
was going to
Rich?
say that something about Rich Buckler is he once did a little, one page shot or couple page shots of how to tell stories in comics, and that was when I first got introduced to the 180-degree rule and how to.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned that right before I got into comics, and my storytelling has always been clear. Everyone's always said that's very easy to understand. It's because I followed that rule, those rules that I learned from him from that comic book. It was just like I say, it was the back of a comic book, a couple pages, and I saw it and I never forgot it. And then I did when I'm doing my tutorials, I did a whole video on that type of the 180-degree rule in storytelling.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple rule. I use it, film and movies. You just got to
Well,
it's like staying on the one side of the stage, basically. So
yeah, you think about Barry Windsor Smith's early stuff, it looked like Kirby. There were several artists that were that was, even though John Buscema did the how to draw the Marvel way,
yeah.
and that was considered, I guess, at that point, the Marvel style. Kirby was really the Marvel style, I think.
Yeah, I think he was
You've
the
got people actively,
yeah.
when Ditko was around too, and when
Yeah.
Ramita Senior took over Spider-Man, they were like draw like Ditko. But
Yeah,
for the
I
but
yeah,
very,
I
that
mean
was
both those
short
guys.
lived.
I think Kirby and Ditko, they kind of like they were the fathers of the comic book style, the Marvel comic book
Yeah,
style. But then
and
the other guys,
actually,
the other guys came in there, that Romita and I say Buscema and stuff. They
yeah,
had real, like Buscema is a really realistic artist, a traditional,
yeah.
classically trained kind
Yeah.
of looking artist. So he just added that to,
It's
you know,
fun to compare his brother Sal Buscema, who just turned 88, with John Buscema because they have two totally different styles, but I love them both.
yeah, I always thought of Sal's as, just sort of not as good version.
Yeah.
That sounds
Well,
terrible, but
it's sad to
I
say,
still
I
loved his
think a
stuff.
lot of people did.
The thing is, okay, it wasn't maybe quite as elegant as John,
Yeah.
but it was still very solid. If you got a Sal Buscema comic book, you're going to have a good time. It was
Yeah.
going to be great. It was going to
Well,
be
one of the
good. It was
first
going to be
comics
fun.
I read was Sal Buscema in Defenders number 15.
Yeah,
And that just set the path. I like this stuff. It had the
yeah,
Magneto and the Brotherhood of Evil, had Professor X in it. So that introduced me early on to the founder of the X-Men without really knowing the X-Men, because it was a couple years collecting before I even found an X-Men on the stands, and then I didn't buy it. And it was John Byrne, Terry Austin, and Chris Claremont. And this is weird. I can't.
yeah,
I'm more an Avengers guy.
yeah.
Who's this X-Men?
I'm thinking of one issue of the Hulk, and I'm pretty sure it was Sal Buscema. And
Yeah,
who's the guy with the? Is it Samson? The guy with the green hair? I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
Doc
So
Yeah,
I
that
Samson.
think he was
Doc
fighting.
Samson.
Is a big 2-page spread. You open up this comic book, 2-page spread of Hulk fighting, and it was so. This is Sal. I thought that was the coolest darn thing I ever seen. It was so awesome. So maybe I can find it, like
Oh, cool.
the cover, because on the cover, like it's like Hulk looking at hitting a statue or something like that. He's
Okay.
going through campus, like something about campus.
One of my favorite things was done by Keith Giffen, who sadly passed away, but recently. But he did a stint on uh, Defenders around the 40 50s, and it great stuff, man. But he was definitely channeling his Kirby. He was another one of those that added his own flair to it, but was, you know those big square hands, just like uh and Gil Kane, you were saying about the energy, the momentum, the power that would jump off the page that
Yeah,
Kirby could do. Gil Kane talked about that and kind of emulated, tried to mimic that. But even if we never got a Silver Age 60s Gil Kane, I mean Jack Kirby, there were people emulating Jack Kirby and in all of his early stuff in the Golden Age, Dan. That's how influential Jack Kirby was in the Golden Age. There were a lot of people going, wow, man.
do you
You
know,
know?
like, when I don't really know much about Kirby before Marvel. You just
Yeah.
mentioned a lot of it, but do you know, like, maybe where he kind of picked up this dynamic hands, things coming at you kind of stuff?
Well, when
You,
he was a kid, he was always drawing from an early age. He was drawing in the tenant buildings in New York on the hall walls with his crayons or whatever he had. So he's always been drawing. Um, is this it? Is this
yep,
it?
that's it. Yeah, I don't know
Okay.
who did this cover. Let's
Oh,
see if I can
that's
zoom.
Ernie Chan. I can see that just
Yeah, Ernie Chan did the
uh
cover, but
from a
the
distance.
interiors were I'm pretty sure the interiors were Sal, I believe.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
so this is comics. This is why I love comics. I wish they come back with these colors again. This, look at now everything's computer coloring, and they
Yeah.
lose some of the fun. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
That's why I like Russ Leach's stuff, because he's trying to bring back that Bronze Age coloring.
yeah, and also all this other stuff, the Marvel Comics Group, and like the 30, the numbers and all
Yeah.
that. I should put approved by the Comics Code Authority. I'm like, if I ever make a comic, I gotta put that on there.
I mentioned this, Dan, the other day. You might not have heard it, but the Ditko box, I call it a Ditko box. He was the one that kind of came up with that for Marvel, which is kind of the Marvel style. And he was, and since you've got it on the Hulk, a little known fact in Astonishing Tales number 60, Ditko changed the lore of Hulk turns into the Hulk, not because it turns nighttime, sort of a Jekyll and Hyde type thing, but because he gets angry. That was actually introduced by Ditko.
Oh, well, then he's
And the
another
Ditko
gem of an
box,
idea, huh? Wow.
I've seen that box up in the corner on some comics back in the 50s. There might have even been some in the 40s. Ditko didn't invent it, but he brought it over to Marvel, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I do call it a Ditko
Is
box.
Shadowhawk? Are you here? Or are you just here?
No, I'm here. I'm just
Okay.
trying to squeeze a word in edgewise. Hi, Dan.
Sorry.
Oh
No,
no, that's all right.
it's me. It's not
You
you.
guys,
It's me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Rex knows way more about Kirby than I do. So
Mm.
Yeah, that's definitely, I could tell from a distance, even before we blew it up, that that's Ernie Chan.
Yeah.
oh
And
yeah,
I
He
said
just,
yeah,
the interiors, I
just from
believe,
the
are
face.
Sal.
yeah.
I wish
You know, the
maybe I
thing
could
you
find
were
an interview.
mentioning, you were mentioning, yeah, that's how I actually determine who does what most of the time is their face. And yeah, that's signed down there in the bush.
Yeah, you could
Ernie
definitely. I
Chan,
could zoom in on that.
1978, I think. Yep.
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 Very distinctive signature there. He did a lot of Conan, Dan.
I
It's
know.
crazy. I'm just looking at it. His Hulk face reminds me of his Conan face quite a bit.
And he inked a lot of John. Inked a
That
lot of
happens.
John Buscema's uh, Conan in Savage Sword of Conan. He
Yep.
did Batman for DC, so he worked for both of them in the mid '70s. I've got some Ernie Chan Batman that he did, some covers anyway. Do you, Dan? If somebody came to you and said, "Dan, we want you on this project," would you prefer just to be a cover artist, or do you want to do interior work?
I wanted to do interior work, but I want to do my own interior. I'm really,
Right.
I have a story, but yeah, I prefer, I would prefer interior work because I really love storytelling. I
Yeah.
mean, covers is great. Covers like the icing on the cake. I think it's great, but man, I want to tell stories.
Well, see, a lot of people, I think today, and I don't want to say any names, but you know the great cover artists that have come down the last 20 years, uh, Adam Hughes and some others that you do a lot of covers.
Yeah,
I think they prefer getting a cover gig. You do get paid more for it.
yeah, it's
Than,
money.
yeah.
It's money. I
And,
mean,
and let's face it, the cover, you know, when you look back here at some of the comics, you see the cover, you don't see the
yeah,
great interior stuff,
yeah,
which might even be better than the cover.
yeah. Well, you remember the way it was, but you get a great cover sometimes in the comic, and then you
Yeah.
open up, it's like, what the. Yeah,
Yeah.
the covers are the
Often
glory.
that's
Yeah.
what sold me. Often that's what
Hey,
sold
Doc.
me on the book, Dan.
Howdy.
But
Greetings,
like,
Dan. Greetings, Rex. Greetings, Shadowhawk. Greetings, chat.
Hail that.
greetings, you know. I mean, I took my own splash page from my campaign. I don't know what issue number it was. It might have been Amazing Spider-Man, where he's chained up and thrown into the water. But I remember whatever book it was, a Marvel team up or whatever it was, opening that up, and immediately he's chained up and thrown into the water, and I'm into the story.
Mm-hmm.
I never forgot that. And then I took a trick in the next two pages in Devil Flyer, the Jack Kirby double spread. The great, you know, earlier that day, the heroic hero over the city of Chicago. And then you go into the story, and then 16 pages later, you're back of being thrown into the water and go, oh yeah, he was in the water. You forget, you get caught up in the story. And you know, I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. You're immersed in the story from page one.
Yeah,
That's what's missing in comics, Dan.
yeah. I tell you, sometimes I read a
Mhm.
comic book and it just feels it's like a chore. Like, I mean, a good story to me, it should grab you. You shouldn't even have a choice. You have to read it. You got to find out. You got to turn the page. You got to find out what happens.
Yeah.
It's like that doesn't
Yeah.
seem to be happening much in comics to me now.
Yeah. Why, Dan?
I don't know.
Is it that people aren't passionate anymore about what they're doing?
Yeah, I think it is.
Or great storying has died on the vine? I mean, even the
I
movies
think you
seem
hit
to
it.
be
The
rehashing
first word,
stuff.
the passion. That's it. That's what's
You
missing.
know,
passion.
used to you would
Yeah.
write a book and it would become a bestseller, and then they would make it into a movie. And now it just seems like everybody's vying to do, cut to the chase, and they're making comics to become the next Netflix series or the next movie, maybe property that's picked up. And I think that's the wrong approach.
Yeah, I think you should try to say something too in a story. A little bit of wisdom goes a long way. I mean, I picked up some wisdom, such as it is, from comics. Just the idea of the hero is a great concept for a young man to have. So
Oh,
yeah, let me see if I can find this.
Yeah, I mean, Doc Blaylock, he collected
Yes.
Avengers when I did. All that great George Perez stuff. It grabbed me. But were you disappointed, Doc? I was telling Dan, I was kind of disappointed that they didn't all have George Perez covers, that this guy, this usurper called Jack Kirby, would occasionally do an Avengers cover. And they might have been good, but it wasn't George Perez, damn it.
I will admit to being an absolute George Perez
damn,
fanboy,
Belmont. All right.
Yeah, I was
Um,
too.
but I was never bothered by a Kirby cover popping up.
Yeah. Doc, I had
a-
one up
a-
on the screen. Let me bring it back up on the screen.
A lot of
Remember
artists have
this
said,
one?
yeah, a lot of artists have said, I came to appreciate Kirby when I was older. I liked him from jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like this
Well,
stuff
I was
from
kind of
Jump.
that. I didn't really appreciate him when I was young. When I got older, I was, got more into it.
Yeah, I also didn't necessarily. Except here's the thing: is what I mentioned the
There
other day that I really liked Gene Colan's Starhawk when it was in the newspaper because it took a double size reduction. Well, the same thing happened to me. My first introduction to Kirby was a little paperback, and that his artwork
yeah.
was also taking a double, quite a really small reduction. And I really liked Kirby's art in that again with that when that bold line gets reduced down, it gets a little more realistic maybe or something. I don't know, but
Right.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
Hmm.
this is from the Marvel Treasury Edition 2001 adaptation of the movie. Just look at that. And again, that coloring, Dan.
yeah,
Yeah.
before computer coloring, it's
Mhm.
great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I liked when Image Comics came in, they were doing something innovative. They were doing the lens flare, they were doing the blurred image with the digital coloring, and the palette increased. I mean,
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
not necessarily.
And I got to get this out with John Buscema. If who's your favorite female artist, to draw a female figure, I would say John Buscema, because there was a savagery to his women in their eyes. The way he drew them, they were sexy, but they were dangerous, Dan. What say you?
Yeah, I would say that, but I guess I would go with John Romita just because they were so perfectly drawn. Those the women. So I don't know, but I could go either way. They're both good. So both apples and oranges almost.
Justin says, I met Rich Buckler once, but he never Kirby. Same here. And he had, Rich Buckler had shoulder length hair. He was a long hair. Long hair, man.
Was it the 70s
And
look
tall
or was it kind of
guy.
like
He was tall. He was probably 6'4", 6'5". He was a tall guy.
wow.
He's kind of like Jim Shooter. Jim Shooter's about 6'5". Very tall.
Wow. Yeah, I know he's tall. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear
Yeah.
Sylvester's pretty tall too.
Is he? I've never met. So, well, I say that, and there were so many people at the convention. But there are some I remember, like Mike Zeck. He's kind of like a smaller guy. Uh, Bill Sienkiewicz definitely is. Frank Miller is. Uh, you know, uh,
Probably is Ramita Jr. Yeah, Ramita Jr. is a pretty small guy too.
Ramita
Yeah,
Jr. He's kind of small, like his dad. Yeah,
yeah,
I
he's
met both of
compact.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never even seen Silvestri up close, but I've heard other people say that he's like pretty tall, man, like 6'6" or something like that. Pretty up there.
Always the heads too. The heads. Yes, I got to do a head cover.
The floating heads,
A
gotta love them.
tuma. It's not a tuma.
It's not a Tuma.
Yeah, and the vision. Just I
It's a Tuma.
mean,
I had this thing here, this Hulk page, but I don't. It kind of. It's only like. Hang on a second.
so Dan, what is the story you have in you?
Barbarians, but it's well. I mean, it's sword and sorcery, but it's. I always like Conan the King, like when he was king,
Yeah.
when he was a
Yeah, I like
general
that
and
one
stuff.
too.
So I think that's my more interest is not
But you
so
didn't
much.
get to see the king very much, did you? Except in maybe one series.
Well, not I liked the novels. I like the Robert E. Howard novels. Hour of the Dragon and
Mhm.
Yeah.
the Red Citadel. Some of those where he was a
Are you
general in armies
are
and
you a
wars.
fan of John Bolton's work, or do you know
I think so. Yeah, he's
his
very
stuff?
the
I think
realistic
I
guy,
asked you
right?
that once.
Super realistic, kind of.
Yeah, yeah, he did
Yeah.
like Cole, like in Bizarre Adventures magazine in the
Oh yeah,
80s.
yeah.
Yeah.
I found this 2-page spread that I mentioned from that whole comic, but it's only half. I can't believe I only have half to show you.
Oh
We'll
no.
take
The
half.
first one, if you could just see the Hulk on the other side, but you can see. I thought that was so cool when
Oh,
I opened that up. You can't see the Hulk, but he's giving an uppercut, kind of double fisted
Yeah.
yeah.
punch up, and it's so awesome. It's just
Do you know what issue that is?
yes, it was the 226 Hulk.
226.
Yeah, it looks like Doc Samson really felt it
I
there
may
too,
have
man.
bought that.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? I always appreciated Sal Buscema's work for what it was. I was like you. It's sad to say it's not as good as his brothers, but you can't. It's subjective,
Right.
Dan. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. As
he
a
was
matter of fact,
solid,
that's it.
man.
What you
And
like.
in some ways, I enjoyed some of his stuff, maybe even better than John's. I just did.
It depends on the
It's
story.
kind
Yeah.
of
I think
depended on what he
what
was doing.
was it Sal that had the run on Rom Space Knight for a while? I
Yeah,
think it
yeah,
was
he
Sal.
did some wrong. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, dude. I
yeah.
liked it. I loved the Rom Space Knight stuff. That was when I was a kid,
Oh,
man. I was all
I
over it.
mean, solid stuff. When it comes to Kirby, hardly anybody rivaled his like machinery and stuff.
Oh yeah, it was crazy.
Just crazy imaginative. New gods type, just out of the box.
Yeah, that stuff was the interest. I
Well, he
mentioned
really,
kind of you taking more of appreciation when you get older is because I always thought it was kind of abstract.
Yeah.
yeah. Like, when I was younger too, it was kind of like I didn't get it that much. Um,
Yep.
but I think I was around like 13 or something when I found my first Machine Man, and that's where Kirby really
Oh,
started getting into all the, the
yeah.
circuitry and all the just wild technology stuff that he did.
I
And I was
think
like,
for
ooh,
the
you know,
like this piece with the size of the actual hilt and part of the hammer there that he's holding onto, the head of the hammer was small to begin with.
yeah, it
It
looks a
really
little
should
small.
have been bigger. But look at those colors there, Dan. It pops. I can see that from 3,000 feet away.
Yep.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's when I look at some of the stuff that's colored today, Dan, it's muddy. I can't tell what's going on, even if I'm
Yes.
holding it at arm's length.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
seems like the digital colors tend to go a little bit darker for some. And I've heard from a few people that it doesn't look the same, on your computer when you color it as when it prints, and that's why the digital seems like it's darker a lot. I don't know
Mhm.
if that's just an excuse or what. So
Well, there's some truth to that. You can see, you have a lit thing versus a printed thing. You're getting the light is shining through it versus
yeah, yeah.
the piece of
So
paper.
that
But
I mean, I guess if you're going to be a good digital colorist, you got to figure out a way to compensate for that, right? Maybe go
yes,
a little lighter on your. I don't know.
just consider it's gonna not be as intensely bright. You can actually, I mean, on your computer, if you want to, you can easily dim it down and obviously and get a little better feel for what it might
Ah,
look
there
like.
you go. See, there you go.
But
Genius idea.
or just desaturate it a little bit.
I mean,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
we don't talk about the prophecies of Jack Kirby, but he absolutely was tuned in and dialed into something. He knew Cyberfrog was going to be huge before even Ethan knew it was going to be huge. Check out this Cyberfrog Black Panther cover. You gotta love it, where he's grabbing this frog. You know, have you ever seen this one, Dan?
No, oh, okay,
King
yeah,
Solomon's frog story.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, I've never
The
seen that.
first issue of his run on Black Panther.
yeah.
Wow. You know.
It's funny. I didn't see his Black Panther stuff. I saw the first time I saw Black Panther was Jerry Bingham drawn an issue. So my
Oh
first
yeah.
introduction to
Oh yeah. He
was.
did that.
Do you remember that issue where he fought the claw with the Sonic?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bit.
Oh,
Anyways,
yeah, yeah,
I that my first exposure to the Black Panther was a very sleekly drawn, really. So I loved the Black Panther when I was younger,
Jerry
just as a guy.
Bingham is from Arkansas, so he's kind of a favorite of mine,
Hmm.
especially now that I know he's from Arkansas. Back in the 80s, he did a graphic novel of Beowulf. I don't know if you saw that. That was kind of barbaric, barbarian type stuff.
Yeah. Now he's
I'll
doing the
have to.
Western paintings, right? That's what he paints Westerns, right?
Is he?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll go with that. He could
He's
very
a very
well.
conservative guy, by the way. Just
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he was actually. I think he
Probably
was
my
actually part of
first.
our little group of conservative guys, and when years back, the
The way
infamous
I really started
Facebook
in
group.
comics, the way I
Pardon me?
really started in comics, Dan,
No.
nope.
what? I mean,
I
I
said
was
no.
drooling, had cereal or whatever, and I was sitting in front of the TV and heard when Captain America throws his mighty
Oh yeah.
shield. You know, I, those
All those who chose to oppose the
1966,
shield must yield.
you know,
Yeah, they were
from the
basically
rainbow
motion
bridge
comics
of
back then.
Adar to
Yeah. How about
that was my
oh,
first
my favorite is the
exposure to
Namor,
Kirby
right?
was the cartoons.
Remember the Namor? Stronger than the whale. He can swim anywhere. He can breathe underwater. That was
That
so
was my
great.
favorite because he said my name, Imperious Rex.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I was like, he's my man, and he looks like Spock.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was aware of Star Trek at that time too. I thought, what is this underwear? Uh, underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy
There's
wearing
certain,
underwear.
all those cartoons. There's certain ones I still don't know the words to, like the Doc Bruce
Yeah.
Banner struck in by gamma ray turns
Yeah.
into the Hulk. Then
Tony
they say something
Stark.
like Andy Glamorous or something like that. I went online trying to figure
Yeah.
out who does anybody know the lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
I think
songs
it's
are crazy.
Andy Glamorous or something like that.
Carrie says, damn it, I didn't get notified. Carrie, the problem with the campaign for the UK is solved. Thank you, Edwin, for liking the broadcast. Over
Wait,
under.
Carrie.
I'm going to update. Should I drum roll, please? I don't know if I should. I'm just suspecting maybe the campaign went up. Maybe I should wait a little bit. We did have some people wanting back earlier, and I don't know if they have yet, but they ran into some problems. But I think the problem's been fixed. No, still at 27. Oh, no, it did go up. 91% there.
Woohoo!
Cool.
Woohoo!
It was at
Now you
87
can
when I
move
checked earlier.
Hell yes.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna get there, Doc.
Yeah, Luke
Oh,
commented
yeah.
during
Yeah,
his.
you're gonna have no trouble. All you got to do is get on just one of these, pop on John Malin's or something, and go stay up for Comic Skate King post
Yeah,
Kangs.
let me try to
Yeah.
chisel that door down.
Well, John Malin had something. Dan, you build your channel, you get known in the community. Uh, build your channel
Right.
for a couple years and work on your project, and you know, put your all in it. 1973. Actually, we might even had this in the Jack Adler collection. I think he might own this. Challenges the Unknown number 78, February 1973 by Jack Kirby. Check this out. Big Net. Net the Heroes. Thing about it is they didn't have superheroes. They were adventurers like Flash Gordon, just average guys in extraordinary situations.
Yeah.
Like a damn dirty thing. I'm sorry, was that out loud? I didn't mean to say that.
Oh, okay. Well, if you say it, then I have to.
Yeah.
Groovy, baby, groovy.
So smooth and groovy.
They should have made sure they killed me.
You looking for volunteers? That's
All right. Cool.
Thank
Hell,
you,
hell,
Doc,
hell.
Oh, hell.
What's the
Is that
origin of
is
choppy
that
LSD?
apple?
Choppy LSD.
What is that from?
Is that apple pie moonshine you're drinking?
Apple
It's
juice.
not.
No, that's honey brandy with a twist of lemon.
Ooh.
Ooh, very
Wow,
nice.
sound good.
Okay. All right. Doc's the only one. I mean, he calls me a hillbilly.
And good for the pipe, see that?
He won't even admit hardly
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
A little bit of
Oh,
that
you
before you
oh, that's
narrate
right.
your trailer.
So, Rex, I did this
Uh-huh.
for you because I really hate the vampire drawing I did for you.
Okay. I'll probably buy both, Doc.
It looks good. It's very good.
Yeah.
I will let you. Now the back, did you want me to do a background on this or just leave it as a pinup or what?
I mean, this is out of the blue, Doc. You put me on the spot, Doc.
Well, give it thought, get back to me.
Well, I'd like to see the old piece that you're trying to replace for me. A comparison. What do I like
It's
better?
terrible. It's terrible. I refuse to show it in front of Dan Lawless. I would die of
You've shown
embarrassment.
it to me, and I've approved it. And you say it looks terrible.
Hey, critiquing is good. Did you see my post today on
Don't
Twitter?
I
know
did.
about
I
what
saw
you
you. Yeah, your leg looks a little wonky there.
It's like a
Conan,
kind of gimp leg.
Dan. Yeah.
It's funny.
It
You know
just
that
you were so involved with.
you know that
Is
that
it just that you were
cover.
so involved in the piece and too close to see?
Yeah. As a matter of fact,
Yeah.
just to add to that, I was, that Death Dealer piece I just did for it was kind of that homage cover of Conan.
got a bag in your pocket?
Uh,
Well, anyways, my wife walked in. I was working on that, and my wife walked in, and she said, "That knee looks weird." She's not an artist,
Right.
but she said that, and she was right. I'm like, oh yeah, it looks really weird, and I fixed it.
Yeah.
So
Dan, let me tell you.
everybody's critique is important.
Let me tell you. I've
Yep.
been a fine art painter far longer than I've done comics. And my wife only gives 2 reviews of my paintings. She will say, pretty. That means it's done. Or looking good. That means keep working. I've learned these things. But the heartbreak was I was doing this and it's a great painting. It turned out great, of a sailboat moored in the harbor. And she stood there for a minute. She said, "Back of that boat looks like a fish's head." And I went, "Oh, fuck."
Wow, that's harsh, man.
She never commented, so that destroyed me.
Poor dog. He just
This is
shriveled up inside.
Yeah.
this is the Jack Kirby I grew up with, mid 70s. And really didn't appreciate it at the time. I did, but I again was like wanting, I guess you would say, more realistic style, like George Perez did.
Yep.
Hey, Dave.
Hi, Rex.
Dave was there when Jack
Hey,
Kirby was
good to
born.
see you, sir.
He actually held
Hi,
Jack
Shaggy.
Kirby in his arms as a
Yeah.
young lad. Tell us about those early years.
Oh man, that's mean. Nice to meet you, Texas Dave.
Rex,
Yeah.
I'm on my phone because I've still got my cat on my lap. She won't get
Okay.
off.
Wow. Okay.
He said you're
So
going nowhere, Dave.
I've
You got
had
stereo
to
lighting. Looks good, man.
improvise.
Now, Texas Dave, if you don't know, Dan, he's got this. Is it a book? Is it a volume with the old 70s dark light posters that the Marvel did in one volume? It's a book, but it's oversized, the size of the posters.
It's
How
a
big?
great
How
big
big are the posters?
poster magazine.
What's the dimensions on the poster?
Big.
It's a book.
Like
Yeah, it's
like
a book.
18 by 24 or something
it's
like
measured
that.
in feet, Dan.
I think they're like 24 by
Yes,
36
it's
from
huge.
the look of it. They're
Wow.
like big poster
I
size.
shall
Yeah.
shall go and dig them out if you want in a short
Now,
time.
who did the art on them?
It was various artists.
Kirby.
Yeah, I think
and
Kirby had a
probably
couple in there.
Yeah, there was a
Yeah.
couple of Kirby's in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
There was a few others.
Yeah. When your cat decides to get up in 2 days, let us know. Go in there and show that to us.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
like I say, I hate having to disturb her.
Yeah. I got it. I got it. Yeah.
Hey, cats sleep 80% of their life anyway, Dave. Don't worry about it.
You know, if we can't remember, guys, as much as I want to talk about my own project or, Dan's stuff that he's done or Doc's or whatever, if we can't remember Jack Kirby on his 30th anniversary of his death, then what are we doing here? Because he was a giant. I found this picture online. I've never seen this particular one before. Is that not awesome?
Oh, yeah,
King
I've seen
sitting
this
in that old uncomfortable chair for hours with his simple, probably plywood,
That drawing desk, according to Glenn Fleming, was the same one he used his entire career. Every great drawing we've ever seen by Jack Kirby came off of that drawing desk.
Yeah.
I wonder where it's at.
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know.
I think it might.
Is there a Kirby museum or no?
Oh yeah,
There should be.
Yeah.
There's.
I imagine that's where it is. At least it should be.
Something that level should be in the Smithsonian, I think.
Yes,
yeah,
agreed.
Really.
It really should. Yeah.
You can see my problem, can't you?
Yeah.
Before I got into comics, one of the first interviews I ever saw of him was that Masters of Comic Book Art, the one hosted by Carlin Ellison.
Oh yeah.
That was so. I mean, you just watched that one short interview, and I think you got Jack Kirby, like who he is as a person and everything. It's all there. It was fascinating. Just him talking about God and Galactus.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like wild.
And
Speaking
Kirby dots. I mean, if he just invented Kirby dots or exploited Kirby dots through their hilt, he brought something to comics. I mean, he can take a fairly static image, Dan, and make it jump off the page. I'm absolutely,
I wonder how he did that. Did he dip dip his ink in something round and just plop it on the page or something? It's because why would they be perfectly round like
Well,
that?
I mean, he would actually draw that in pencil because he and Roz, who inked his early stuff, or I mean his like Challenge of the Unknown and stuff when he first came to DC Comics in the 50s, the late 50s. She inked a lot of. She's actually credited with inking a lot of those early
Really? I didn't
Challenge
know
of
he
the
had.
Unknown.
I didn't
She
know he had
actually inked her husband's stuff,
I
but
didn't
he
know she
would
was an
draw in the
artist.
circles with pencil. He probably used a #2 pencil. It probably wasn't fancy stuff.
Is there is there a picture of Ross anywhere? I'm
Yes,
curious.
I've got some pictures of Roz coming up. Have you ever seen a picture of Roz?
I have not.
Yeah, Dan, you should
Okay.
really get Glenn's book. It comes with a
Mhm.
DVD of the time that he spent there too, so you actually get some video of Roz and Jack and Glenn all hanging out having lunch.
Really?
Yeah, I've got
Yeah,
that.
it's pretty cool.
Jack Kirby wasn't a very big guy, very tall
No.
guy, you know.
Well, dude, I think Stan Lee was only like 5'10" or something. So
Really?
Yeah, he
Jack
wasn't
must have
huge.
been
I
around
did meet Stan, and
5'7", 5'8".
he was
Oh.
sitting down, but I did get to see him standing up stuff. And
He
he
looks
wasn't a
like he'd be
huge guy
tall.
either.
He looks like he'd be 6 foot at least. It's weird.
But here's some shots, Dan, of
I
Jack
mean, he
Kirby
was
and
close,
Roz
but not quite.
together. There they are, kind of
We're
hamming
having a good
up.
time.
There's an early picture of that when he was in the service.
Oh, that's awesome.
And from all reports, dude, like if you went by Jack's house, Roz was making sandwiches and lemonade, and just taking care of everybody.
Look
Yeah,
at how cool Jack Kirby
That
was.
is cool.
Look at him
man.
when he was
Yeah.
young, dude.
Listen,
Wow.
fellas, it doesn't matter how cool you think you are. You will never be Jack Kirby cool.
No
That's
way.
true. That's true, man. Sorry,
Dude,
Dan. I guess
the only
lost out.
comic creator I know that's just flat out cooler than Kirby right there is Jim Steranko, man. That dude is just a pimp.
Yeah. Those old guys know cool, don't they? Shit.
Yeah.
Artist on panel, what's the weirdest thing you have ever been asked to draw?
Oh Lord.
I know.
You'd be amazed, Gary.
See.
And the character's name, I can't give that away. And really, I don't have a name for it. I do, but I don't. I know who the character is, but I don't have his common name.
It's kind of a placeholder at the moment.
The one in Carrie that every
up,
artist
shut up.
had back in the day when we were in high school. So all you had to do is sit down and start drawing some random female, and someone would say, some hot girl would go, "Can you draw me?" "Yes, darling. Yes, I can."
Holy mackerel, Carrie. What kind of horror movies are you watching?
One thing that we not talked about yet about Jack Kirby, he created so many characters, the demon being one of them.
Yep.
I mean, how many comic artists have created so many characters?
Yeah. So does he have Iron Man, Thor?
No, Don Heck was the artist on Iron Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did Jack create Thor then? The look of Thor?
Thor,
Of course, the
Hulk, Fantastic Four, Ant-Man,
Captain America,
Black Panther.
Well, Captain America existed. Didn't Captain America exist before Marvel? Or when it was
Yes.
Timely Comics?
yes,
1940 when it was Timely.
Was
Yeah.
Jack Kirby at Timely
Marvel
before Stan
was
got
first
there?
called Timely.
Yeah.
No, Stan was the gopher. He was the guy sweeping the floor at that time. He actually worked for Jack Kirby and Joe Simon. Joe Simon.
Well, what Dan is asking, Rex,
Oh, okay.
is did Jack Kirby create Captain America?
Yes, he did. Yes,
Okay.
in 1940.
I think wasn't it the character Stanley first wrote though? Was Captain America? I think.
No, the first
he wrote
character
the
he
text.
wrote was the Destroyer, a character he came up with called the Destroyer. He did his first Captain America work was a story. I don't know if it's a text story, but it was in Captain America #3, and
Yeah, it was a
probably
text story. That.
What now?
I drew a Destroyer
It was a
story, but was
text
that a
story.
different character than the one Stan Lee worked on, or
Was it
Marvel?
Drax the Destroyer you're thinking of, or what kind of Destroyer? There's
no, wait, no,
different.
maybe it wasn't. Was it Destroyer? Oh, no, it's not,
It was a Golden Age character. It's probably a different character.
Yeah.
Hell,
I can't remember. I think I'm getting the wrong name. I think it's something else.
Thor had a villain called the Destroyer that was kind of like a
yeah.
pimped out android, you know.
Wasn't that the first Thor movie they brought him out in the movies? I think, or a version
Yeah,
of him is the big robot with the like Cyclops eye.
Yeah, that was in one of the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I'm
And
gonna
now
go.
a break for our sponsor, John Buscema Artwork. Get your John Buscema artwork here today.
Nice. I'm just gonna go, Rex, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Hopefully, I'm gonna have to move the
Okay.
cat.
Did the cat shit? Okay.
I'll see you
Cat
in a
mate.
short time. I'll see you in
If
a
he
short time.
survives moving the cat, he'll be back.
Might not
I
be here
will. I will
if my wife comes
if
home.
I can survive that, I can survive anything.
There you go.
See you
I'm
soon.
trying to find
All right, Dave.
the show that it's over here. A Joe Simon drawing. Of course, he was Jack Kirby's partner for many years throughout the 40s and 50s. Both of them really struggled together to make a living. And I think that's, something we forget, Dan, is Kirby just wanted to provide for his family.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's
I need a name, Kerry.
he's a Depression era guy.
Yeah, he was definitely a Depression era guy, and that's got to change you.
Well, World War II combat vet also.
Yeah.
That definitely had an impact on him.
Yeah, that'll do a little something to you.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Which that
So
was my dad in a nutshell. So.
Not Jack Kirby, because I don't have any Kirby artwork, but I do have his partner's artwork. This is a letter written in 1995 to Al. He was John Buscema and Martin Dale, who was the creator of the Pillsbury Doughboy and the original Alan Scott Green Lantern, and Sal Buscema and a lot of other artists, maybe Joe Simon himself, art dealer. And this is on Crestwood Publications stationery, which was Joe Simon's stationery at the time. He's there pictured with all the characters. And I guarantee you, Captain America, the Newsboy Legion, it's just reduced down so far. But it says to Al, many thanks for your nice letter. We appreciate your perceptive comments. Best wishes, Joe Simon. And that's probably his tan man, Jack
He got
Kirby.
a dynamic pose, too.
Yeah. In that Kirby-like style, right?
Yeah, with that tiny foot in the back. Yeah. Hey, I got a page here. You mentioned the Destroyer. This is the Destroyer I worked on when I was at Marvel there.
Okay.
So he I don't know. I think it came from. I thought someone had written some novels or stuff. I don't know if it has anything to do with what Stan worked on or not.
The Destroyer. I'm not familiar with the Destroyer.
Yeah.
I
think they made a version of him called Remo Williams or something. They made a movie.
Yeah.
But I think it was
Oh,
from
yeah,
this.
that's right. Yeah.
yeah, Remo Williams. Yeah, I saw that at a comic book convention. That's where I saw it at. They had a showing, early showing of that.
Whose art is this?
That's me.
I actually rented that on
Badass,
VHS.
man.
That's like a long time ago, man.
Man, fucking bravo.
Look at him kicking this guy's legs and cracking.
I love
his
it.
That's awesome,
I was a
dude.
ruthless little young
Snapping
man,
both his kneecaps.
That That is awesome work, brother. Awesome.
Was this
Trust me,
his
that
own
does
title?
not feel good. I had somebody do that to me.
Who was your inker on this, Dan?
No, I don't remember.
Okay. Kind of reminds me of Irv Novak, maybe.
I bet I can find out.
Yeah. Google it,
Glenn-
Dan.
Glenn
23rd
Anderson.
century. Now, was that the Destroyer in his own title for a short time?
Yeah, they had some books, and I don't think it were that
Okay.
popular. That's why they gave it to me.
Wow. Okay.
Well, when you're a beginning artist, when you're a beginning artist, you get whatever you get, So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a
Give it to the
kick-ass
FNG.
page.
Fair.
It's a kick-ass page. I love it.
Thanks, man.
Always sucks to be the FNG in the group.
You know what though? It's how you start. You gotta start with.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Wherever you gotta
you
start,
can't
yeah.
walk in expecting respect. You gotta earn it, right?
Yeah,
I mean, that's
very
the way
much
it goes.
so. And also, I mean, I'm a better artist than I was then. I had a lot to learn, So
Dude, that
Now,
still looks
back-
really great.
Back in that day, Dan, let me ask you this. Back in that day when you were doing that page, who were your influences at that time?
well, I was a Buscema guy all along, where because that How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way that sent me, I was
Right.
totally bonkers for that book. Here I'm looking at the credits on here. It's got Will Murray wrote the story, and then it says my name and Fredericks.
Not familiar with the artist. I mean, that anchor.
And Walt Simonson did a cover on it, by the way, on that particular
Really?
issue.
Wow.
Yeah, which is pretty good.
Cool.
Better than my art inside.
Yeah, you could be.
Fredericks, I think I've seen that name before, but I couldn't tell you where.
Yeah, I probably have
I
some
may
of
be
his.
I may be thinking of the old lingerie store at the mall.
Yeah, we're all thinking of that.
Jesus, Shadawk.
Roger, right. Oh my.
Hey, actually, my wife just came home. We're gonna go get some food, I think, or something. So,
Okay, I can tell you like to eat, Dan. You're always going off at this time to eat.
Well, this is she gets
It's
home at
dinner
5,
time,
and so or
Yeah.
5ish, and so that's when we get things rolling. So
It's dinner time. Mine is like 5 minutes away, Rex. I got to go throw food down my neck.
No, I'll kick you right now. I don't care.
Thank you for that.
5 minutes
Thank you for
all right,
that.
guys. I'll see you later. But
Well,
thanks
Dan,
for having me
thank
on.
Hail, Dan. Thanks for coming in.
Okay.
Hell,
No
guys.
problem.
Bye.
Let's do a Conan draw stream with Reyes when he gets off Dragon Rage. Right now he's
Woo.
on
Let's
Dragon
do that.
Rage.
I'm up. I'm
And
ready,
he's
man.
doing a cover for me, a wraparound cover. So
Yeah. Okay.
Hell,
All right, see
I'll
you guys.
even jump in on that one with my
thank you,
amateur
Dan.
stuff.
Okay,
Have
bye.
a great evening.
Okay, you too. Bye.
All right, let's go over to the campaign, and I'm just going to update this thing. We're up to 91%. Finally,
All right, people,
some
get ready to celebrate. Break out them
Keep
shot
it
glasses.
coming, love. Keep it
Is it where were
coming.
we at, Rex? Was it 91?
91%. Yep, that's where we're
91,
at.
dude, in freaking 4 days. 4 days.
3 days. 3 days.
Four.
Yeah,
That's not
are
the
we
campaign.
going over into the
That's
fourth
not
day
the
now?
campaign, Rex. You're supposed to be pulling the campaign up.
You're pulling up new
Really?
guys, doofus.
Oh, well, I mean, there's nothing new to report.
You lost on the 3rd, right? Today's the...
Yeah, 3 days.
Well,
Luke Stone even commented. He said,
Yeah, 3 days. Sorry, Rex.
and I quote, Rex is killing it.
Nice.
really? Where'd he
Yes.
say that at? On your show?
On his draw stream. I was in there
On his
earlier
draw
watching.
stream. Okay.
Dude, there are
There
there are not a whole lot of campaigns that hit 90% or fully funded in the first week even. And you're already at 91 in like 3 days.
91%, Eric, is the answer.
Yeah. And sorry,
That's
Eric. And I did send you
incredible.
the link when Dan was on. I'm sorry I didn't send it easy.
Eric doesn't get the link. He said I look like Sluggo.
What the hell?
Doc looks like Sluggo. What?
Yeah, man.
Uh-oh. Am I starting to echo, Eric? I'll be back.
Yeah, it's a good thing I don't have feelings or anything.
Doc looks like Sluggo. Yeah. I
Good
thought
thing
he
I
was
don't have
close.
feelings.
I thought he looked like Bluto at first, but then I was thinking, nah, more like Sweet Pea.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Here we go. Here we go. I'll take places I can take Rex for 500, Alex.
Yeah.
What is nowhere? Nowhere.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, hey, Carol, Bernie Santa. Yeah. I've been saying that for a couple years now, Carol.
It is the Dark Angel versus the Troll Queen.
It's ready for real this time.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. I've had it with you, Rex. I'm going to go eat.
Okay. All right. All right.
Well, no, Carrie, I appreciate your compliment. Thank you very much.
So Carrie, maybe I think Tree Goblin or you, one of you backed it. I don't know. You don't have to dox yourself, but I mean, I think the problem's been fixed. Sorry, hadn't paid, just bring up all the images and talking with the panel and haven't really paid. Kind of lost at one point the after this comment from Tree Goblin, kind of lost the damn it, I didn't get notified, which I'm sorry about that. I don't know why. It's not like I streamed more than 3 times today. At least I don't think I have.
Oh, Doc leave too?
Yeah, he went to eat.
Ah, all right. Hail, Doc.
That sun's really bearing in. I don't know that the weirdest thing ever drawn. I don't know because I kind of draw my own stuff and I've drawn some pretty weird things.
I'm not sure, but all I know is Carrie needs to stop talking about Thor's butt in the chat. Good Lord.
Yeah. You tease. Oh, and yeah, somehow Texas State now Texas
There he
State.
is. There he is.
Back.
He survived.
Now, Joe, I really do owe you another one. Rex is approaching the home. Give a like to Dan, Shadow Doc, and of course Texas Dave and Maya, and not for Rex.
Gotta be Eric.
Get your potatoes cam stream today. Showing his peachy tush.
Oh, Carrie. I want you to go say 14 Hail Marys tonight, Carrie, before bed.
What if she's not Catholic?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Then I guess she's on a one-way trip to the nether region.
Oh, that's right. Are the English mostly Protestant? There was a big thing with, Catholic and Protestant. I don't know. I don't know enough about all that.
Yeah, the Fund My Comic should be fixed for the UK now. I don't know exactly what the problem was. Lick responded to it. I know Justin adjusted it already.
You probably just didn't have it enabled for UK.
I don't know why we wouldn't have. I mean, I thought we enabled it.
Maybe Justin just forgot when he was setting it up for you, or I don't know.
Now, I owe Texas Dave an apology, and I definitely come on camera and give it to him face to face. Dave, I'm sorry.
It's all right, Rex. Don't worry about it.
We have scheduled people over your time slot on Tuesdays, and that's
it's
and
no
I've been
problem,
on
Rex.
Let's go, Rex, for getting
we've been missing you, and we definitely had to get you on for the Jack Kirby.
Well, I was going to say I'm quite surprised that Glenn isn't with us really today.
Well, you and he, to make it easy on you because you're in the UK and I get it, it's late. He did come on yesterday with Dan, and so we had Dan on yesterday and we had Glenn on yesterday. I was hoping to get Glenn
was he on
here
yesterday? Right. Right.
Yeah.
Didn't Glenn pop in on your earlier stream too, Rex? I mean, I don't think he came on camera, but I think he was in the chat.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was
no.
in the chat. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, earlier's better for the UK for sure.
it is.
Well, yeah, they're 6 hours ahead of us, bro.
Yeah.
I can just about manage this time.
until Maya starts gnawing his ankles off.
Oh,
Folks,
yes.
this is a glimpse of the future right here. This is what you have to look forward to. This is the future, 6 hours in the future. You too can look like this gorgeous man.
Oh,
6
you mean
hours.
I get to have 6 hours and I get to take over Dave's comic book collection? Sweet.
Yeah.
By the way, that chap that was on before wanted to see this.
Right.
Oh, God dang it.
Now,
And he left.
now see, that's George Tuska.
That is,
He
yeah.
goes back at least to the 50s,
Oh, yeah,
maybe
dude.
the late 40s in comics.
Yeah, Tuska wasn't he back at Timely or whatever before Marvel even started?
Yeah, well,
You
he
can
was
see how
definitely
big
in.
you can see how big this is, can't you?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's got to be 24
that's a.
by 36, dude. That's
I
poster
didn't
size.
know you owned a surfboard.
No, I didn't.
Now there's
That's
12 images
that's a
in that thing,
wakeboard.
right? There's
Yeah,
12.
well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you a compact version.
Okay.
Oh,
I think
cool.
I think I might have shown you this before. I'm not
Did
sure.
this come with that giant book?
Yeah, this came with the giant poster package.
Okay.
Oh, so you can look at them before you decide what to hang up and stuff.
Yeah,
Now, are those all separate posters in that big package you showed us,
they
Dave?
are indeed. Yeah, they're all
Oh, that's
separate.
awesome, dude.
So
They're all
Ooh.
it's a book, but they're put in book form, right?
No, they're loose
No, that's
posters
just
in the box.
So they
yeah.
are.
I got an old Spider-Man. It was Spider-Man and uh, Cloak and Dagger, like a crossover, and it was all
So
the
these are still
original
posters.
11 by 17 prints, but colored and then put into like this big cardboard sleeve with art on it and everything.
Yeah.
There's Silver Surfer done by Kirby. But now the first image there was,
The
and I
first
actually
picture
had
is
that
the
production.
original. Yeah.
I had that production page. That's Gene Colan,
It is.
early Captain
Oh,
Marvel.
that's cool though that they actually show you like the original colors and then the blacklight colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the
Side by side.
comparison.
That's
Yeah.
wicked. I like that.
What's the one underneath it?
Oh,
Wait a minute. One
we gotta
underneath.
get a copy of this for Carol's colors
Uh,
because she's doing
that
all
Oh
those
one.
yeah.
blacklight tapestry.
I'm not sure what that is there, because
It's Daredevil by Gene Colan.
Daredevil by Gene Colan. Yeah, yeah.
Ah, okay, I see him now.
Yeah.
Gene Colan did a lot of Daredevil.
It actually
He
tells
is.
you where the pictures are from. So the first one was
Yeah,
Captain Marvel #4,
yeah.
Oh,
I
very
actually
cool.
had
and then
that
you've got
piece of
Daredevil
production artwork.
#40,
Yeah, I actually had that page and sold it. Production
and then
artwork to that
you've
issue.
got Silver Surfer #76.
Yeah, that Silver Surfer is cool.
Look at that Thor Kirby page. See, most of this is Kirby, really. I mean, he's got a lion's share of it.
A lot
on
of
the
it in there. Yeah.
Astro Thor. Yeah, what a cool name. And then that's Gene Colan, Doctor Strange, right?
I was gonna say, is that Doctor Strange?
That's
I
Doctor
got both.
Strange with his hooded face.
Oh wow, that's old school Doctor Strange. Holy mackerel!
Yeah,
And then
back
there's
in the
some more on the
60s.
other side.
Yeah, but I didn't see the bottom one. You're going so quick there, Dave, and your potato cam is blurry.
Some more Jack Kirby.
It's yeah, okay, there's a Kirby right there. There's a Kirby.
Oh, Medusa, yeah.
Yeah. That was a Fantastic Four Kirby.
Now, didn't
Yeah.
Kirby invented the Inhumans, right? He created all those guys.
Oh, I had this Captain America. I may even still have the production artwork to that Captain America, and that's why they took one panel from it. What was your question?
I said Kirby created the Inhumans, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I
Along with
thought.
Stan Lee.
Well, yeah, Stanley
Oh,
helped a
that's
little.
Herb Trimpe. And then this would be Gene Colan again, I believe, with Submariner and Spider-Man.
Yeah, certainly is. It's from Submariner number 40, that one, Rex. The bottom.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's cool that they just take one panel and make a poster out of it.
Yeah.
That's cool shit.
And these are reproduction of the 70s blacklight posters, right? That were made.
They are. They are, yeah.
Which they're worth a couple thousand a piece in good shape, probably nowadays, if not more. That's the blow up of the Herb Trimpe Hulk. You know, when I think of Daredevil, I think of Gene Colan. When I think of Hulk, I think of Herb Trimpe.
Yeah.
You know, there's just certain titles that they, when I think either really not so much as the creator, Don Heck, but like George Tuska, because he did draw there for a while. Welcome to the show.
Oh, hey,
Hey,
Yeah.
Elsie.
Dan.
how's it going? Shadow?
Hey, how you doing, El?
Rex, you doing okay?
Well, to answer that, how about that? 91% there, huh?
Mm,
See, going pretty good
Thanks
there, my
to Tree
friend.
Goblin, I believe.
good one.
And
Hail,
I'll
Tree.
note that thing, see if we've got some more movement. We could absolutely shooting for to get funded. It'll happen, I know, but when?
Jesus,
When?
Rex.
Look, man, if
down.
you're gonna go, you might as well go
Calm
over the top.
It's like the
Wait
old
till it's
Chinese
9:30.
Chinese teacher. He tells the class, "You must learn patience." And they go, "Yeah, but how long is that gonna take?"
Hell, the troll queen. Dave, have you seen the Jack Kirby oil painting that Elsie has?
I don't think I have.
Ooh,
Oh, okay.
I don't think
Okay.
I have.
Huh?
be ready to have your eyes violated.
Not
Very
your
nice.
typical Jack Kirby fare. And who knew he
No.
worked in oils?
Wow.
But that's after in 1972, shortly after he moved out there to California.
Right. I've never
And
seen that, but never ever seen that before.
no, I
Yeah.
doubt, I'm sure that
It's been in storage
Victoria State would
for 20 years.
Wow.
That's very
Yeah,
nice.
until I saw it, that was the first landscape I'd ever seen from Jack Kirby.
Yeah, me
Pretty
too.
crazy.
Yeah.
Who was
Me
that,
too.
Rex? We talked. It was on, and they said they had seen a few. I
Right.
don't remember who it was.
Yeah, somebody.
Well, I
Somebody
asked
said
Glenn
they
Fleming if
had
he
seen.
But
Maybe it
we
was
do
Glenn that
know
told it.
we do on the back. It has the place where it was framed. You know, the gallery that framed it, whatever they called it. It was old back
Yeah.
in '72,
Wow.
and they may still have records. We need to contact them.
But-
While they might still in business, they may not be in business, but
that in 1972, we do know he was in that area. So when I was looking, Rex, people troll sites and hassle people. I was trolling eBay. I got on there and people would have things and they didn't know what they were. I bought Stan Lee signed books for like $8.
that was like in the art. That was like in the art section. I think when you bought that, it was
Yeah,
it was not
was
even
just in the
in the
art
comic book category.
Not in the comics. You know, it was just there. Somebody was bidding on it, you know, and I just sit back and waited, and I bam hit that dude,
See you, Eric.
you know, and then it sit back in my back here for 20 years or more,
Yeah.
and till now.
Nice to have though.
Yeah, it is, man. You know,
Mm.
knowing that he was an artist, a fine
All
artist.
right. Have a good night, buddy.
Even in his comics, he was a fine artist. You know.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Well, you know, I didn't get to bring this up, but my favorite inker for Jack Kirby, and he's had a lot of people ink his stuff. A lot of people like Joe Sennett. I do like Joe Sennett stuff, but uh, my favorite is Steve Ditko.
Oh
And
yeah.
really, you didn't get a lot of Steve Ditko inking Jack Kirby. You did in the early days of Marvel, before it was Marvel, when it was Atlas. But occasionally you would get a project like Fantastic Four number 13, first appearance of Red
Nice
Ghost
cat
in the
you got
Super.
there, Texas.
What's that?
Cat, like your cat.
Oh, thank you.
Nice cat. Where are you at? Are you in Texas or?
No, I'm in the UK.
Oh my God.
Okay. Well, cool,
Oh,
man.
kill me now.
Yeah, his name
in
is
the UK.
Texas Dave Ozzy because his last name is Houston.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we just call him
Agent Smith.
Texas
That's
Dave.
the only
What the
reason.
hell?
That's the only reason.
Pretty cool.
By the way, Rex, have you seen this book before?
The one
I don't think I've seen that one.
Kirby.
I did watch that in the, was it the 80s?
No,
What
but this is
Yeah,
this
no,
is the
different show.
television series. This is
Chick
a
Stone.
book on.
Chick was great. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Elsie had a Fantastic Four number 1, but I didn't know it, and he sold it before I got my hands to get to actually hold it in my hands.
All right, who the hell is Agent Smith? Hail Agent Smith.
Where's that comic that you have Kirby and Simon and Kirby on the cover? That you have great. That you have. Great.
Are you asking me?
I'm asking Rex.
Elsie
I
just breaks in, and you know he gives you no context. You have to figure it out.
I'm sorry, brother.
But that's
I'm
fine.
not
You're
confused.
asking me what now?
You know, the book you have that has Kirby and Simon and Kirby's photograph on the front. They were criminal and a detective.
Oh yeah, 1947.
Yeah, you need to show that one, man. That's a cool comic. I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah,
you know.
I don't have it handy. I'm not.
Okay.
I could probably go up there and get it.
Think about it.
That's all right, Apex. I forgive you.
Yeah.
He could show you, but then he'd have to kill you.
Wow, look at that. That's a piece I haven't seen before. That's the thing about Kirby. He was so prolific. There's a lot of pieces that may run under your radar and that you missed that he did that were never published.
Yeah, that looks like it's just pure
And
pencil
Kirby
too.
Endeavor was absolutely.
Did that just never get inked and used, Dave, or was that just a?
Well, it just says on it it's from the Jack Kirby Collector issue 58.
Wow.
And there's another one here on the next page. It's just a very small one, though. It's another one now.
Yeah, now that's pencil work from the What If the Marvel bullpen were the Fantastic Four. Yeah. Yeah, that's Jack Kirby as the Thing.
Yeah.
Is that Stan as Mr. Fantastic?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the secretary was the secretary was Invisible Woman, and Saul Brodsky was the Human Torch.
I've never seen that.
Nice book there, man.
There's the old floating heads.
Yeah. And
So
again,
cool.
I appreciate the brick laden thing, but I got to go with the orange lumpy original thing. I liked him. He was more
Nah,
monstrous.
the Rocky thing is better.
Rocky. Dun, 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 dun,
Hey,
dun.
Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of this hat.
Rawr, wrong hat. So
That
Texas
trick
Day,
never works.
we're gonna have to get on. I've been watching a lot more Doctor Who. Some
Yeah.
second Doctor, but mostly first Doctor stuff. Trying to
Oh,
make it
Agent Smith,
through
you disappoint me.
Galaxy 4.
Away
And
we
away
go.
we go. Look at that. Talking about sales. That's cool. Of comics. Look at that advertising. That's cool.
There's another drawing there.
It is.
Yeah, I mean my favorite inker is Steve Ditko over Kirby, I think. But yeah, Bill Everett was good. I showed Daredevil #1 cover. That was Bill Everett over Jack Kirby. There's Captain America #1. One of my prized possessions is a John Buscema Bucky. Had a Bucky that he did, and it's half inked, half pencil. He never finished the inks on it. I don't know if that was just something he wanted to, or lost interest in, or never got back to, or what. But oh, and I often forget Shadowhawk because I have it in a different place.
Yeah.
But I have John Buscema maybe preliminary drawings of Yellow Jacket because John Buscema came up with that character Yellow Jacket.
There you go, Rex.
Yeah, he was an in-betweener, a fill-in artist. Yeah, they actually did a sideways Kirby comic, and I have it back here with that being the cover artwork. There's your orange lumpy thing.
But
Yancey Street. Yeah, that's a good book.
It is.
Have you had this one for a while?
Yeah, I've had it 2 or 3 years. It's published by Tomorrow's Publishing.
Oh, Elsie knows about them. We both dealt with them before. Look at that thing in raw pencils. I'm gonna have to do a raw pencil story, where all the interior work and cover and everything's just raw pencils. There's just some energy about pencils. And one thing we didn't talk about is Jack Kirby went under a lot of pseudonyms early on. He didn't go by the name of Jack Kirby. He went under a myriad of different names. Yeah, look at that. He was doing the pinups too. Look at that. The Watcher and Dr. Doom. Wow.
All pencils again.
Yeah, why we have these were probably inked later, Dave.
Yeah.
He and Roz would Xerox all this stuff in raw pencils before they sent it off to be inked.
That's
I think
it.
it was very smart of them to do that. So a lot of raw pencils of Kirby stuff from every era come down, to us. Look at that Medusa going up against some character. He definitely should have done a werewolf. He could have done a chunky werewolf story, and I'm sure he did at some point.
Well, we were talking about the Inhumans earlier, so you can see the pencils now.
Yeah. Gorgon made his first appearance in November of 1965. Why do I know that?
Why do you know that?
Because I was born in November of 65.
Ah, of course.
And that was the issue. Number 41 or 42. I don't know. Gorgon's first appearance in the Fantastic Four. Love Lockjaw back there. His signature signature was defined early on. Look at that trident. Wow. Look at the knobby knees, man. Look at that knobby knee. Wow. No denying the power, though, in the drawing, is there?
That's true. There's Black Bolt.
He was a cool character.
Black Bolt. I always love the underarm wing things, you know? One of the early characters that I created, Jim, that I haven't talked to, GEM, had the underarm wing thing. Some of my characters still do till today. It's just cool innovation. Fantastic Four, Medusa, yeah. Raw pencil work. I love it. Uninked. Xeroxing was not as prevalent back then, Dave. So
No.
that was some expense that they went to do that.
Damn, I've been messing with Rex for like 2-3 minutes now, and I was muted the whole time.
And you were muted, yeah.
We gotta get you a better camera, Dave. Oh, I can almost make that.
Well, you're on a small phone too. Actually, it's pretty clear right now compared to what it was.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it is actually pretty good compared to
and raw pencils, they're really coming across pretty. Look at that Galactus face right in your face, and just him standing there regal over the city, thinking about lunch and breakfast or dinner.
Got way too many word balloons around his head.
Yeah, and word balloons everywhere. It's clobbering time.
The word balloons are kicking Galactus's ass in that panel.
Yeah. The thing whopping him in the leg.
Like he's even gonna feel that. I don't know. Maybe it might be like a mosquito bite.
It might level a building, though. You know, the thing could absolutely level a building with one shot, I think, or do some major damage.
He could do some major damage, I think.
Well, with Kirby,
I mean, really, what's he gonna do to Galactus, man? Come on.
Nothing. And in fact, I think they got a character called the Punisher after him, with the 6 arms or something, or they look like 6 arms when they started whooping up on the thing. I don't know if you remember that story, but there was a character called the Punisher before the Punisher.
No, I don't remember.
And he was dispatched out of Galactus's ship when you were an irritant to Galactus. The Agent Smith says the Herald of Galactus.
Not the Executioner guy. Is that what you're talking about? He had like a yellow shirt and blue gloves.
Blastar. No, not that.
Yeah, that is, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Blastar. Yeah. The first time I met Blastar was in those in the 60s cartoon. And it was his origin story, straight out of Fantastic Four. A lot of those Fantastic Four, all those Fantastic Four cartoons were just the comic book issues animated. and it was some of the better. It was actually some of the better stories. Molecule Man.
Yeah.
A surfer.
All right. Who's your favorite Galactus herald? Silver Surfer, obviously, or
Not for me. I mean,
all right. Who else?
probably Terax the Tamer.
I
Who?
like
That John
T-Rex
Byrne
is good,
did.
man. Yeah, he was good. What about you, Dave?
It's got to be the Silver Surfer for me, Shadow.
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
too.
Silver
Look at that.
Surfer, I think, is number one for me, but a close second place was Nova. You guys
Look
remember
at that.
Nova?
Oh, Nova. Yeah, she ranks up there with me too. As far as
Yeah,
female
she was
characters,
cool.
look, show that. I'm sorry, Dave. Show that Black Panther again.
That was awesome.
Yep.
Am I starting to pick you up again, Rex?
He was the Black Panther
Oh, that's
creator, co-creator, and you got to see the bottom of his face. He didn't have the full face mask.
cool. Yeah, yeah. You started off like Batman, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked it when he went to the full face mask, though.
Oh yeah, I do too. Yeah.
I think it just works better for Black Panther.
It does. It does.
Especially if you're not black.
Damn,
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I got to think about that one. Damn it, Elsie.
there's a white guy under there, man. What the hell?
Elsie, now one thing you haven't shown on is your KKK membership card. Would you like to show that off today?
And I didn't see the Black
I'm kidding.
Panther
I'm kidding. Stop it.
an American individual. That's all I'm saying. Is there anything wrong with that?
Yeah, I'm going to give you silence.
All
on that
I'm
one.
saying
I
is
don't know.
excuse me, boys. We're all the white women there.
I don't know. I never got into the Thinker. The Thinker there. I just never kind of got into the Thinker as a villain.
Nah, he was never cool.
He was never cool. But now he had a kind of a cool block-headed android,
What didn't he invent? What was it? Dragon.
Kirby Surfer. There's nothing more awesome looking.
Was he the guy that invented Dragon Man?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So he did one cool thing. My little tail. Damn.
Is that Mr. Fantastic stretching
We
and
love
stuff? Wow.
Original drawings.
Look at the power and the.
Dude, that's just awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Too bad we didn't show this earlier when Dan was on.
God, why can't people make these kind of comic books anymore?
Darn you, Shadowhawk. I'm going to kick you for that. Momentum is getting there. Just give me a few years.
Too hard.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, Rex. I was caught up in the moment and I wasn't thinking about you.
Right. I get
it. You're working on it.
Well, this is top level stuff here. I mean,
I'm just talking about. And there's a lot of guys that are doing some really good stuff.
Too many people that are doing that caliber of work.
But but there's not many people that are trying to kind of bring back this kind of thing,
And the cool thing, this is the raw pencils. They were very looking towards the future. Xeroxing this stuff off, copying this stuff off. When copiers were only found in businesses, they weren't.
I heard
prevalent.
Jack both went and bought one and put one in his office.
I think he did. Yeah. I mean, it was very forward thinking of him and Roz to take the time to copy this stuff off before they sent it off to be inked.
Well,
You
dude,
never know. They may have sent off the copies.
I hate to perpetuate the myth of behind every good man there's a good woman, but
Right.
in Robin's case, I got a feeling she was the one that told him, "Hey, dude, maybe you should make copies of all that before you
She
send it off
probably
tomorrow."
did. She probably was the person to suggest that to him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all from everything I've heard about her. She was one sharp cookie, bro.
Would there anything being wrong with making copies and keeping the original, sending the inker copies?
Well, nowadays you kind of
Yeah,
do that.
because
But
Marvel would have given a shit, you know, because their contract back in the day was, you know, he was drawing them original art or whatever. But
so,
it
Dave,
was
we're definitely going to
it
have to
was
talk
very
to
smart
the
of
second
him to
doctor
archive.
Yeah,
next week.
definitely.
Doesn't Reed Richards' hand look a little small there to you guys? Or no,
Little
that's
bit.
her hand. That's her hand. Okay,
There's
that's
two
perfect.
hands there.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
that's her.
yeah.
Yeah,
I thought it was his hand. I mean, he's
yeah.
stretchy,
She's
right?
holding his hand, Rex.
Okay, I see that now. Yeah.
And it's closer to you.
Was he stretching her arm through her
Look at
crotch and
that. Look
then
at that
up her
moment.
chest?
Holding the thing who has a cold, holding his nose and giving him his medicine. Look at that.
Wow. Dude, look at that in the background. Fucking Black Bolt with his fucking mask off.
That's Human Torch with
That's the
a
Human Torch.
snazzy sweater
He
on.
That's
just has a
Human
snazzy
Torch?
company in the shadow.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Why does he have the Black Bolt costume?
I know, right?
It's
But it's
similar.
not Black Bolt. No.
It is similar.
Oh, fuck.
I don't remember if Black Bolt.
I've been hornswoggled.
Look at that. I mean, he's sitting on a throne, but he
Bushwhack.
looks crumpled. Look at those
Ooh.
blocky ass knees. Look at that strained muscle. That's
Oh, God. Those look like my knees feel.
yeah, exactly. I wonder if he
All right,
designed.
now I hate Jack Kirby again.
I don't think he designed the Fantastic Four logo. That was another artist. I can't remember his name, but it's really sad. He really brought a lot to that title just by designing such a great logo.
Well, do people forget how important a cool logo is?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Dude, you know what, too? That's another good idea for it. Even if you can't get Matt on the stream yet, hit him up about doing a logo for you. Because that's like his wheelhouse is doing, you know, graphic design.
Hit who up?
Matt Barr.
Oh, Matt Barr. Yeah.
And then I guarantee you, once he, you know, does a little work for you, and then the next time you go, hey, you want to come on the show, he'll be there.
Now, I believe this is storyboards for the Fantastic Four in like 1977 cartoon.
Yeah.
Just ignore me.
No, I was okay. Matt Barr, Matt Barr, got it. Get him to do your logo. I got it.
Yeah. I know you got you got a thing with Matt, so whatever.
No, I don't have a thing with Matt.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
No,
Herbie the
never.
robot, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm drinking it. I know you don't care about this Jack Kirby goodness, but I'm enthralled by it. I definitely got to get this book. That's a good book. Was that printing in England or?
No, it's American.
Is it? So
It is.
do you usually go to Amazon for stuff like that, Dave?
Yeah, usually. Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes I have gone on the Tomorrow's website.
Well, some of the best books on comics out there are Tomorrow Publishing. Absolutely. Yeah. When it comes to information, they've got some of the best publication. They're a little pricey. There you go, Jack Kirby Dinosaurs.
Good tail.
Hey, Rick.
Welcome back to the show. Well-fed, grass-fed, Doc Blaylock.
Hail, hiya, howdy. Hello, LZ.
Hi, Doc.
Yeah, look at all that wonderful art that I don't own.
Wouldn't it be nice to have it hanging in your house, brother?
Yep.
I had a picture of Graham Nolan flexing his muscles. Wow, look at that. That's a page layout for you there, Doc.
When I was flexing my muscles this morning, Rex. I don't recall you being off.
Well, he was flexing his muscles. He was saying, "See that Jack Kirby right back there? He had original Jack Kirby artwork."
Oh, okay.
And flexing in front of.
That's beautiful work. Look at that.
I was sidelined by this Kirby page. Wow.
That is a master at work right there.
Yeah. Why don't I get work like this out of you, Doc?
Because you don't ask.
Okay. All right.
You have not because you asked not.
Ask
Dave got tickled with that one. That's what we say in the South. He got tickled.
That's it.
Oh, there's an unused cover, I think. That's the cool thing about this book. It's got some unused Kirby covers, and Agent Zero was right in that his unused stuff is just as powerful and just as nice as the. Now, one thing you haven't showed, Elsie, is that CD or DVD, with the that had the digital, I think, Fantastic Four, and it had the Silver Surfer statue with it. You bought so many of those
right
sealed
here.
up.
I got it
Shadowhawk
right
says,
here.
"Have a great night, everyone. I guess I don't appreciate Kirby enough." Oh, Shadowhawk, really? But we're absolutely going to have to talk some Second Doctor stuff. Oh, there's one of them right there.
It's nice.
So the
That.
statue's
I'll have
super
to get
cool.
mine. Yeah, I mean the Starfield, the wave under him. It's
Well,
just
it's
so
got
cool.
a DVD in
Yeah.
here of
Gentlemen. What?
of lost episodes.
Is that down below? Is that Costata?
Gentlemen.
Joe Costata?
Casada.
Whatever. Could see,
It says
come see, come saw.
interviews with the executive editor Tim Brevoort,
And what the hell, Doc?
and
Doc got booted.
exclusive editor-in-chief Joe Quesada clip.
Everybody
Five
just hates me. They just
by-
get up and leave. Damn it.
It's
We
got
don't
the
hate you,
lost
Rex.
Jack
Don't think
Kirby story.
I'm not still here. Yeah.
There's a digital
Oh, just
comic.
done with the verbal abuse. Now there's
I was
Doc.
kicked.
There.
Justice
No,
for
I
Doc.
didn't kick you.
Justice for Doc.
Good. Come see, come saw. Costata, Castudo.
I feel so
Quesadilla.
out of place in
Quesadilla. That's a
this
good one.
group. You Uber collectors are all, ooh, look at my stuff. I got no stuff.
Yeah, you do. You held up a great Captain America 200, and I didn't get a word in edgewise to say, "Are you rebuilding your collection? What the hell? Why do you have that one book?"
It was a birthday present
It's
from
a
Charles.
nice comic. I've got it.
From Charles. Wow. Can you show it again? That was in good shape, too.
One moment.
Okay. That was in. There you go.
I got to get the guacamole
Right,
off.
we need to get together, dude.
Yeah, I used to have that one myself.
It's a
Number
beauty, man.
200. Yeah, he started with issue 193, I think, on this
This
run.
is
and,
this is from back in the day when I first started collecting.
yeah. Is that 25 center?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was collecting a few years before you there.
Can I see the barcode? Let me see the barcode.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Now I had started my collection, and remember, there was no such thing as a collection back then.
Yeah.
before that, but Captain America was the first title I went and sought out for myself and bought.
Yeah.
Very nice too.
Couldn't figure out why, Dave, after reading a Superman comic, he couldn't figure out why all the superheroes didn't fly.
Right.
X, Twitter is best, Rob, but I know you do Instagram.
Yeah.
But X is definitely a good way to reach out to me.
Hey, Rob.
He knows the song. You've
Like,
heard it too, about 100
I remember
times.
Rob's work is up on the campaign. Rob, I don't know if we're up to 91% funded.
I distinctly remember back in 1971, my mother was reading comic books to my brother and I. One was a Batman, one was a Superman. And we could not wrap our brains around, why can't Batman fly? He's got a cape. You know, that's that childhood logic. If you got a cape on,
I can understand that. I can understand that.
Batman was a glider.
Right. But he couldn't
Well,
fly.
I mean, look at Spawn and his cape, and they took it over the top with Batman and Spawn. And so Luke Stone said, "I'm killing it, huh?"
He said you were killing it. He was very impressed.
Okay, well, I'm not killing it. Everybody else is killing it.
When
they're one contributing.
That's right, boys and girls. It's down to you. Listen, here comes the pitch. If you haven't gone over to Fund My Comic yet and backed Devil Flyer, the magazine, what are you waiting for? This is a quality product. It won't rust, bust, collect dust, kink, stink, turn pink around the seams of rainy season for 90 days. Get over there, throw a little love on this project, and let's get this thing funded.
We got Bog Tapestry. We got Artist Edition. Glenn Fleming's going to be doing some work to that. He's added to the art team. Rob Ewing's going to have some work in this. Got John Dillard. We got the great Doc Blaylock. We got the variant cover coming from Jimmy Reyes.
He's got
what?
Doc Blaylock on this project.
What happened? Yeah. What happened?
He's got Doc Blaylock, man. Did
John
you hear?
Fernandez.
You got Doc Blaylock on this project, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Hook you up with a dog band.
We got Tank Ferret artwork. There's Rob Ewing right there. They were suggesting Rob Ewing, that needs to be a sticker. So we could absolutely do a Rob Ewing sticker. Just using that image, haven't even paid Rob for that piece yet.
Look at Maya. Look at the love she's throwing up there today.
I know, man. She's just looking attentively. She was doing that earlier, too, when he was showing that book.
She was.
She knows where her bread is buttered.
Spoiled rotten, Dave.
I know.
That's the way she should be.
What can I say?
If you got one, you better spoil it. That's the way it works.
What can I say?
Love. Look at that cat. She just wants more
like,
love. Look at her.
Look at that. Look at that.
Love me, Daddy. Don't stop now.
Baby.
Oh, now she's licking her paw.
We don't need narration, Rex. We can see what she's doing.
Okay, well, I mean, looking intently in the eyes and giving the paw up on his chest. That's wow.
She's throwing the meow face at him.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, and you're going to feed me later too, right?
Oh, absolutely. I have to do that before I turn in.
Yeah, or you wouldn't get to all that love.
Or you won't turn in.
I saw a thing on Twitter just a few moments ago, Dave. A guy who was deaf and therefore he didn't talk. His cat had learned that the master wasn't going to respond to meow to get snacks. So the cat would wave at him and go,
yeah. Yeah, my cat does that sometimes.
That's mind-blowing to me.
Yeah. They're very intelligent cats, especially
of course, Of course, Dave,
Animals,
you know, I do
we
that
don't
at my
get
wife.
enough. Oh my.
This is some early Jack Kirby that you probably haven't seen.
Here's more stuff I don't own. Look at this.
A lot of stuff
Yeah.
I hadn't
Well,
seen.
it's probably
that.
gone, Doc. This is early
Look
Jack
at
Kirby.
this. Look at it.
Go on, there you go.
You know, there are certain people that were destined to do what they did, and Kirby was one of those. He was meant to do what he did.
I love the gray pencil stuff, or the stuff that looks like it's gray pencil. Have you considered doing gray pencil type stuff, Doc?
I use gray tone in my work.
I know you do, but that's not gray pencil. You know, a grease pencil. A grease.
Have I considered doing it, Rex? I've considered doing a whole book in nothing but pencil, and would love to do that.
Not pencil, grease pencil. There's
Graphite.
a difference.
You said gray pencil.
Well, again,
Graphite.
misspoken.
Graphite.
Elsie, do something with it, will you?
Grease pencil, Rex. Why would you use a grease pencil in your comic? It wouldn't have any light grays, or, you know, how you gonna? You really have to manipulate that.
Oh,
stuff
perish
to
the
get
thought that we do something different. It's all got to be one way. Got it.
Perish the thought.
Perish it. Perish it.
There you go. The thing in a tutu.
So it was proof that the thing could not take criticism, especially from the Yancey Street gang back
Right.
in the day.
I think Texas is taking a nap.
Send me a picture like this, will you? Will they? When I get through with that crummy Yancey Street game, I'll take a blotter to mop them up.
Ben Grimm had no sense of humor, confirmed.
Ben Grimm was Jack Kirby.
By the way, I'm one of the few people that'll say it. Michael Chiklis killed it as the thing in the movie.
No, he didn't. Thank you very much.
Perfect. He was perfect.
Well, he might have been perfect, but the suit was the Roger Corman suit was better.
No, it wasn't. Get out of here with that.
It absolutely was.
The
And
world's
when he
greatest
said-
fighter versus the world's greatest detective.
Yeah. In fact, I think the first crossover was in a fanzine, you know, about comics that combined Captain America and Batman.
Yeah. I
Done
don't
by
care what everybody says. Cap would mop the floor with him.
I'm back.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I guess.
I thought you had
I
that,
mentioned this.
that blanket
earlier.
over your head, brother. I really did. I was
Yeah, I had
looking at
my-
that.
There's
my
Graham
back to-
flexing in front of some of his great collection and original Kirby strip artwork. Maybe one of the most handsome man in CG.
I don't
Have you
know
seen
nothing
this
about all
before?
that.
I mean, I'm right here, Rex. It's almost like you can't see me. Jeez.
That'd be nice.
Have you seen that before?
I have
Never
not.
seen it, brother.
I guess this is some of his 50s stuff, maybe. Jack
Yeah,
Kirby.
this is his earliest published work, I believe.
Oh, his
Where'd you
early
get that,
published
brother?
work.
Yeah.
Another great book that I'm going to have to add to my collection.
Wow. Wow.
Where in the world did you find that?
Found it on eBay.
Wow.
Yeah, I must have blinked on that one.
Yeah, you can almost see it, boys and girls. Rex is desperately bidding away on something on eBay, not realizing that across the ocean, bidding against him, It's Texas Dave Houston.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, Doc, there's a story about that. You know, Glenn Beck, conservative voice out there, Glenn Beck on the radio every day.
Yes. Yes.
He and another guy who's a big Superman fan, they got in a bidding war. They didn't know each other was bidding. Glenn was trying to buy it from him, and the other guy was trying to buy it for himself. And so they ran since they didn't get together, they knew each other, but they ran the price up
Who was this? Glenn Beck
it was
and
the
who?
Christopher Reeve, one of Christopher Reeve's capes that he wore in Superman.
It was Glenn Beck and who?
Glenn Beck and this other guy that's a big Superman collector. I can't remember his name, but Glenn beat the guy out and then had him on his radio show and gave him the cape as a present.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But I mean, they bid it up, man, by thousands and thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of dollars.
How about spot coloring before spot coloring was a thing?
Right. Exactly.
Mhm.
Limited.
Look at that.
Yeah, exactly. I want to do some of this stuff to tell a story, kind of like we're doing in Great Tale Story.
The Solar Legion.
Yeah.
How about a hand-colored comic? Everyone is
Okay. Is it going to be one and done, or are you going to reproduce it?
Just give me a black and white comic. I'll color one, and I'll color another, and I'll color another. Like that, like color that picture there, hand color it, send it out to people.
Okay.
After you write it and draw it and print it.
Well, we do have a blank cover in it, and it will be mostly black and white, so we'd absolutely pick it up on the campaign. Color to your heart's content.
I've got this black and white that's going out, but if you'd like a special deal, my brother here is a good colorist. He's going to color any edition you'd like, hand color it for you, and you could offer him a different, deal.
I think he's on to something there, Rex.
Nobody'd want nothing like that.
I think he's on to something there, Rex.
He might be. I don't want to volunteer his services. I know he'd be happy to do it.
Yeah, but I ain't got no book. I ain't got no, nothing to color. So until then,
exactly. I mean, we're still working on it. So
when you get it done, tell me how many you need colored.
Okay. We'll
I'll
work on it.
Hoisted on his
Brother,
cards.
That's what I do all the time is art. Or if I'm not sitting here or taking care of my wife.
What does it say on this, Dave, that this is his earliest stuff?
Yeah, it says it's his earliest work for a publisher.
Wow.
And does it say who the publisher was?
Yeah. I think it was Victor Fox Comic Studios.
Victor Fox Studios. Wow.
Yeah.
Fox Studios had like Blue Beetle, Samson, and some other character. They had a title called The Big Three, I believe.
You see, Doc, how it's colored red there?
Yes,
in
sir.
certain areas.
Yes,
you
sir.
could, like you said, you call it what, spot coloring?
Yes, sir.
Right.
You could hand do that for, say, well, I got a special book here that's it can go as far as you want it. He'll spot color it. He'll color it. You could do a lot of things with that.
Now wait. What is with the red X's at the bottom?
Not sure.
Maybe they've died. That they're assassinated.
He done took
Look
care
at that
of them.
Worm Thing.
Yeah.
And the
Worm
fish
Thing. It is called Worm Thing.
Black
It looked like
Michael, great.
I wonder if that's in public domain. We definitely need to do a worm thing.
Worm thing. That's oh.
Man.
Look at that. Wait now, Dave.
What's
Look at
up?
the architecture on that thing. Look at that. Early Kirby stuff.
And look how
Look
it
at
has
that, Doc.
it has a face
He's having a
renegade.
blast.
Yeah, it does have it's the Legion of Doom.
Star Solar Legion.
Worm
Good
thing.
notice.
The Solar Legion. Wow.
Worm thing. Telling
Before
you.
the Legion of Superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, probably way before them.
Way before that. Look at that. They went to a blue with Cyclone for a
See what I'm
different
talking
tone.
about? Why couldn't Can do something like that for certain tier?
Because
Black and white. Of course, you'd have to have it black and white.
I love that you don't do this stuff behind the scenes. We got to talk about it now.
Oh, I'm just talking, man. Not anything to talk about, or should I
you
just
could
shut up?
absolutely do that, but if you're talking about doing 500 of them, then it's like do it once and then
You don't-
reproduce it.
don't
I know you
offer
don't like
people
that.
an
It's like
unlimited
sell the
amount,
original.
man.
If I had a
Real limited,
Rembrandt, I would sell the original. We've had this talk before. You would be dumb to sell the original. You don't sell the original. You release it out for 10 years to a museum and get the money from that. You keep the rights to the original.
Well, you just send them my way. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I've got
Well, I have
hundreds
to print the book first.
to borrow. I won't charge them that much.
Oh man, my God. Okay, we're up on 2.5 hours here, Dave. I know it's getting late over there for you. It's past midnight now, right? About
Well,
12
no,
and a half.
it's 11:30, Rex.
Oh, only 11:30. Well, we can go another 2.5 hours. Absolutely.
I do say you can.
And that's not a threat. That's a promise. I can absolutely do it. But yeah, I want to do a draw stream later. And make meanwhile, and make limited edition prints.
Meanwhile, back at the
Shadowhawk
hotel.
says.
I'm just going to show you this book before you go.
Okay. Oh, Destroyer Duck from Pacific Comics and Jack Kirby. Wow. Yeah.
All original pencil art.
Man, Dave, you know what to collect. I'll give it. Look how thick that book is.
Yeah.
How many issues did they do of Destroyer Duck?
I think there's about five or six.
Is that all?
Did you say Destroyer Duck?
Yeah, there was 5
Duck
issues.
came out in the early 80s from Pacific Comics. I remember the Destroyer Duck went against the spinal column. It was just like this spine that would wrap around you. Instead of foam, it says Foog, Friends of Old Gerber. I think this was in the response of Howard the Duck, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Dave has a very sturdy shelving. Yeah, because these are heavy books.
This one's not too bad.
Now, that's a tomorrow published book, too, isn't it?
It is.
They really do some of the best artist editions and things. Graphite edition. Wow, there you go. What a great way to call it, because that's exactly what it is instead of raw pencils. Graphite edition. Wow.
That's cool.
That's what I want to see. I want to see raw pencils, a raw pencil version before it's inked of some stories.
Doc said he'd hook you up.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we can do it ourselves.
Okay. All right. I don't know what to say.